So welcome, beloveds, to another episode of the Ascension Cafe, and I'm really excited today to have a special guest with me. And I want to talk a little bit about the energies before we dive into our lovely conversation that we are currently facing, because it came through to me so clearly this week that through all the intensity and the highs and lows that we are experiencing on our sacred path at the moment, and its spirit kind of showed it to me a little bit like having emotional whiplash. That's the way they put it to me. So we can feel very grounded, present, calm in one moment, and then next we can't understand, but we're feeling emotional. And of course, we know and understand that planetary alignment affects us, and it is very purposeful. It is meant to support us in healing and releasing what we need to release. But one of the things that came so strongly is this, us leaning more and more into our passions and our joy. And it's so relevant to today's conversation because one of my passions is my absolute deep love for dogs and that profound connection to the animal kingdom. And our guest today has taken her love and passion of animals and literally made it her purpose. And it's amazing. So I'd love to welcome to the Ascension Cafe, Shelley Tomkins from the Pawfect Connection. So welcome, Shelley. It's lovely.
Hello, thank you for inviting me to your
Oh,
lovely cafe.
I'm just over the moon. And of course, we connected because I'd reached out to a friend who gave me your details because I wanted some support with my pets. But before we dive into any of that, just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Yeah. Well, I feel a little bit like Wurzel Gummidge sometimes. I don't know if your audience is as ancient as me sometimes, but Wurzel Gummidge is a kind of scarecrow who has lots of different heads, and that sums me up. But all of my heads are to do with animals, so I'm just so like passionate. All of the things that I do are with animals or for animals or for their families that live with them, and that's what I've always wanted to do from a young child, really. So I thought my first thing I wanted to do was be a vet when I was young, but I realised that you'd have to like go and learn like on dead creatures and things, and I wasn't really keen on that, so I went down the nursing route instead. And it's just it was 100% me from the word go, really. um and that's kind of that started off my career, I suppose, if you like, with animals. But yeah, I've literally done everything that you can think of, I think, by now with pets. Yeah.
It's
And so
amazing.
yeah, so that's what I do now. I obviously I do my spiritual connections. I'm still practicing nurse, do Reiki, and help like a lot of maybe rescue dogs because I'm an animal training instructor as well. So I kind of combine the science and the more spiritual stuff, and really like a completely holistic overview really of everything. And as you know yourself, there's lots of little snippets that I can, if you know, I think it's really important that even if we're just looking at things from a spiritual perspective, that how would I say it? We still have to be respectful of the species that is living with our house, in our home. So we need to make sure we're providing all the things that they need as well. So obviously my scientific knowledge and my behaviour knowledge and stuff comes into play there. So yeah, I feel like overall, I'm really fortunate to be in a position where I can help so many animals because, as we said earlier, you know, they give us so much, don't they? So it's lovely to be able to give something back.
Yeah,
And they certainly
absolutely.
have helped me my whole life, really.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing what you do. And that's why I felt so compelled to invite you onto
Yeah.
the Ascension Cafe, because I feel people need to hear about this kind of work. And
Mm.
you are an absolute beautiful example of that, because you like you said, it's the whole 360 holistic approach. And we say this all the time as healers. We say to our clients, if there is something physically wrong with you, do also see a doctor. you
Yeah.
know don't just keep having Reiki or a healing session or doing healing meditations, or going to a sound bath. Do take, the whole 360 approach. We've been gifted as humanity with this amazing, technology, with the
Yeah.
education and the knowledge, and, the pharmaceuticals to match that as well, So I think it's a beautiful thing that you have this whole 360 approach.
Yeah. I
Massively
agree.
beneficial.
Everything's got a place, hasn't it? You
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah. Definitely. So just tell us a little bit more. Just go back a little bit. Just tell us a little bit about your own spiritual awakening. How did you end up going from, yes, you've got a passion and love for animals, and that's so clear. But how did you end up, also then becoming, a Reiki
Yeah.
master for animals and animal communicator, and how do you get from knowing as a
Yeah.
child you worked with animals to get into that point?
Yeah. Well, I don't quite know how I've managed to do it, really. I think I always just did do it. I think more recently, I've realized that it's all been quite backwards, really, because I was actually doing this stuff when I was little, and I've come full circle. Of course, we have to have a job and everything, don't we? And, I suppose I went down the animal road because of that. But in the last sort of maybe 10, 12 years, I've really started to remember what I already knew, if you see what I mean. So like it's like when I'm communicating with the animals from the healing side of things, I'm I feel like I'm blending with them, and I can understand what they're feeling physically or emotionally. And I've always known that. If I think about it, I've always known that. Even as a child, I was fully aware of the emotions of the animals, or, I was very empathic. I could understand, what they needed. But I suppose as a child, I didn't have the ability to give them always what they did need, but I was always aware of it. So yeah, it's been a really just recently in the last 6 months, I would say, I've really felt, oh, I've actually kind of come full circle and I'm back to where I started almost, really.
Yeah, I find that completely fascinating because it is soul remembrance, isn't it? When we start to do any
Yeah,
kind of spiritual work, whatever role that may be in, it is almost like we do the training, we do the qualifications, but really ultimately it is soul remembrance, isn't it? And
yeah,
as a child, you haven't got the barriers that we kind of develop as an adult. You
yeah,
just do things, don't you? You do them from the heart.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it just is natural, for you to do channel energy healing or to communicate with an animal as a child. But then as we, go through life's experiences and become adults, we just become quite closed off to what our
yeah,
soul intrinsically knows. It's just an essence of who we are, isn't it?
yeah.
Part of
And I
who we
think being such an empathic person from tiny, I was always aware of what everybody else was thinking all the time. And so that was a lot of fear there for me of like, oh, I don't want to sound like woo woo too much, or what, whatever our words are that we describe, how can we really describe what we do anyway? But, you know, um, worried, I suppose, of what people would think and all of that. And now, of course, being older, I'm fully happy to be as what I'm supposed to be, really, which
Yeah.
is just so amazing to be able to do that. We're so lucky now to be able to even have this conversation, whereas many
Yes,
generations ago we would have, we would have been witches or whatever, wouldn't we? And it would
exactly.
be, we're very lucky. I think we're so fortunate.
Yeah, definitely. I agree completely. And I think the more that we do talk about what we do and how we can help and support others, I think the more that we normalize
Mm,
what really is the most natural thing to do
yes. Yeah.
anyway. Um, I think it's a beautiful gift, really beautiful gift. And you certainly have helped my two dogs, Luna and Merlin. In fact, Luna was, as she was talking, she was snoring away at my side. And I was
Oh,
like, it's going to come
love,
through really loud.
love Luna. Bless her.
No, she's beautiful. So just tell us a little bit more about the more holistic side of your work then. So
Mm,
I know that you do Reiki, but you also, and this is where we connected, you also are an animal communicator and you
yeah.
do readings as well. So tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah. So, as you know yourself, I work with from a photograph. So people will send me a picture or a couple of pictures that just capture the essence of their animal. And I always like to ask for the animal's name. And then we set our intention together. You've done this with me as well. We light candles, and our intention is to bring in our angels and guides who are here to help us with our communication with these souls that we're trying to chat to on that time. And I just holding that space for the animal really, and then inviting them. It's not like I'm going to talk to you now, it's an invitation. I have been told no before, um, but very, very rarely. Usually they've got lots to say. um, and just holding that space for them. And I ask for like yourself to give me 3 questions as a kind of somewhere to start with, I suppose, really. But yeah, I usually get a lot more information than just the 3 questions. And yeah, just it's amazing, isn't it? The things that come through, but the clarifications, I suppose, like the confirmation stuff, like that, I wouldn't know. It then helps the people, the owners or the guardians or however you wish to name yourself. I'm not fussed on the title. Um, it gives them the confidence to understand that the rest of the reading would be accurate as well. And
Yeah.
that is my purpose, is so that the animals will feel heard. um, and what a gift to be able to give back to them, because they are always here for us, and they
Yeah.
live through all of the things that we're living through, and they help us so much without us even knowing. Sometimes they're
Yeah.
transmuting a lot of our own feelings, even physical ailments the animals will take often from us. And
Mm.
that's where I like what you said earlier of making sure we're looking at the maybe the veterinary or doctor's side of things as well, because I do believe often the things that are wrong with the pets have come from the person, but they still need treatment for that particular thing. So it has to come from that. But yeah, with the readings, and then just uh sending healing, checking, that they're aligned and everything, and sending healing where it needs to if I pick up on any ailments or things. But it's important to say with that also that I am only, well, this is the thing, is that animals are the greatest teachers of mindfulness, really. And they are literally, what I'm picking up on is in the here and now.
Yeah.
It's not what has been wrong with them or what might be wrong with them. So it's always kind of to be taken as a complementary thing and not a diagnosis if there was something wrong. But very often I will pick up on things that the people know are already an existing issue for that animal. And so obviously then we can send our, healing to that area, and it brings a lot of peace for the animal as well.
Yeah.
Especially like you said with Luna, rescue animals who it's traumatic for them, and it's nice to be able to help them in that emotional way as well as the physical.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And I genuinely cannot stress enough how much it's helped Luna.
Mm.
When we got Luna, you could tell she was really quite broken, and it was hard to see that she would flinch when you went
Mm.
to fuss her and things like that. So
Yeah,
it's been a 6-month journey of really just going slowly with her and allowing her to feel safe when she's ready to. But
yeah,
the beautiful thing about having the reading with yourself is it was that insight that you gave us into how we can best help her to feel even more safe and
yeah,
trust us, and the shift genuinely in Luna in particular, because Merlin is a very happy-go-lucky chap. You know,
Very
he's
different energy.
friend.
Yeah,
He's smiley. He's happy. His tail never stops wagging. But Luna was so reserved, and literally since the reading, she has shifted considerably.
brilliant.
She just looks. She's smiling like she's
Oh,
got a stuffy smile.
that's so lovely. Yeah.
She is smiling so much, and a tail. I've never seen a tail
Oh,
wag so much.
oh, that's so nice to hear. Yeah.
Just
That's
walking
it. That's
around the
me.
house.
That means everything, because that's exactly
Yeah,
why we do it, isn't it? Because we want them to feel better.
yeah, and and I think for anybody who is listening or viewing the vlog, if you have beloved pets, why not take this approach? We do
Mm.
these, so all of us on our spiritual path, we go to circles, we do sound baths, we join memberships, we do meditation,
Yeah.
we do all kinds of things for ourselves. So why not take this holistic approach to our beloved animals, you
Yeah.
know, to their well-being, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I've
Yeah.
always believed that animals have souls, and I've always believed that they're on their own journey of evolution, just as we are. They come to
Mm.
us like we do to experience things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's all part of their soul's growth. And I do believe we have soul contracts with animals too,
Mm.
that we
Mm.
are kind of destined, for want of a better word,
Yeah.
to come across each other's paths. And what you were saying also about them becoming ill, oh, absolutely. I can see that in I've had dogs all my life. Literally, they've been a part of my life. I was born, there was a family dog, and I've had very little time where there's not been a wonderful animal companion in my
Mm.
life, living in my home with me. Um, and, have seen that play out, you know,
Yeah.
in my life,
Yeah.
because we know energy manifests as disease,
Yeah. Yeah.
it often comes from emotional energy, doesn't it? And they
Yeah.
are these, like you said, they are these amazing transmuters of energy,
100%. Yeah.
you know.
Especially dogs, I think.
Yes, yeah,
I really think that. And often in the readings, I'll pick up on physical things, but it won't be the animal as far as the owner's concerned, but they know that they suffer with those conditions themselves. They'll say it's not the animal, it's me.
yeah, yeah.
um, Time and time, even recently, a guinea pig. And isn't that amazing that even a little guinea pig will be so bonded with the person that they're gonna, you know, I picked up on, I felt previously bladder issues and back pain. And she said, no, it's not the guinea pig, it's me. And I was, it's just so amazing that, they're taking all of this and helping us, Um, yeah, it's time and time again, just blows my mind, really, the things that they will
Yeah,
experience with us.
yeah, yeah, alongside
Mm.
us. It's
Yeah,
amazing. It's
yeah.
so
And
cool.
of course, they are in fact often reflecting back to us, especially I feel dogs with behavioural issues.
Yes.
Um, Particularly, I see a lot of course the training and stuff, like adolescent dogs and stuff, but they're showing a lot of frustration and things. And often, if I can train, for want of a better word, the human
Yeah.
to be in a more mindful space and not come at it like, oh, I need to fix this. This is a problem. If you
Mm.
step into that with the animal, they'll be like, well, it's gone, because that's all they were trying to tell you is how you're feeling. It's not
Yeah.
actually that they're feeling that at all. They're trying to show you how you're feeling.
And they're just picking up on that anxiety,
Yeah,
stress, or on that sadness, whatever it may be, that fear, whatever it
yeah,
is that you're holding on to. Yeah. Wow.
yeah. And my
Mm.
friend recently, the horse I said to you earlier on, another little horse that I connect with quite often, um, my friend approached me and said that she was having problems with the horse because she was worried that where she was at that time, she wasn't happy because she wasn't coming to her. When she used to go to visit, the horse would always come to her, and she'd stopped doing it, and she wanted to check in what was going on. And what I was told was that she wasn't coming to Jess. It was that she wanted Jess to follow her, because she knew at that time in her life she was really, she's got two young children. She's really busy, and sometimes you know what it's like when you've got youngsters. You're 20 million things in your head, but sometimes she was just trying to say, look, just come with me, let me show you how to be calm, bring you back to yourself, to help you. And yeah, once she did that, it just changed it completely. So it's amazing that the animals are, if we just listen, even if we're not listening on my level of listening, if you just
Yes.
listen to them and follow them, they'll always show you the way. It's wonderful.
It is completely amazing.
Yeah.
And I know one of the other beautiful things I really didn't expect from the reading, which was wonderful, was the guidance you gave me around the crystals. I love the way
Yeah.
you use crystals when you're working with animals, and creating the elixirs for both Luna and Merlin.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, why have we never thought of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crystals for years. The very first thing I did in group work was something called Crystal Club, and I was like, why would I have not
Yeah.
supported my own animals
Well,
the
we're
way?
all just animals, really, aren't we? So it's quite safe to do,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No different to us, are they? So yeah, so I thought that was a really beautiful, unexpected addition to the reading, really, to come
Yeah.
forearmed with that, information of what is going to suit them best at this time and support
Yes.
them best at this time with their own journey.
Yeah.
Wonderful, really beautiful.
And they always come through, don't they? The crystals, I get told, and then afterwards I go away and look them all up, and they're
Yeah,
always correlate with what you've told me, or what has come through in the reading. And I think that's the thing, is that the animals, they do know what they need. They are so much more, obviously, earth
yeah,
creatures than we are, I feel, in a way. Well, we are, but we've forgotten most of it, most of us. But
yeah,
it's nice to, you know, give them those opportunities to explore those things. Um, because of course they're in our home, aren't they? They don't have any choice, any power over
no,
anything, over their day. We choose when they wake up, we choose when they go to bed. It's lovely to just be able to give them an option. And my cats in particular, they love the crystals. They'll often be in here, like, as I spread them all out on the floor, and I've got loads of them. And they'll, obviously, with animals, you can't leave them unattended. You've got to be careful.
yeah,
Dogs will pick them up or something. But it's, yeah, they're cats love the crystals. They're always around them, which
yeah.
is, I think, it's amazing, really, to just watch and learn from them. That's what, I'm learning from the animals, really. They're my greatest guides. I would
Absolutely.
always say that they have been the ones that have taught me the most.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. They are amazing teachers, like you said before, of presence, being
Mm.
in that moment, just living for the moment, not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, just being in the moment and finding happiness in the
Yeah.
most simplest of things.
Yes. Play,
You just watch
we
dogs.
forget, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these two are crazy when they play, and anybody who doesn't really understand bull breed dogs would probably think they're
Yeah.
genuine, they're having the time of their life. It's
Yeah.
very vocal, and it's just a lot of
Yeah.
muscle mass
Yeah.
flying about. But they're so happy, and they find the joy like in the most simplest of things.
Mm.
Um, just taking them out in the car, you can see them smile. You literally,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. And like I said before, one of the other really wonderful things that came out of Luna's read, and I keep coming back to Luna, Merlin's reading was as powerful, it really was, but I think Merlin for me was easier to work out, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I got him, and because I've got quite a lot of experience with dogs, not in a professional capacity, like
Mm.
just as a guardian,
Yeah.
as somebody who walks alongside this life's journey with them, so but
Yeah.
with Luna, she was a whole new kind of ball game. But
Yeah.
what I loved is you said to me, and it just really made me smile. You said to me, she loves fish and you don't feed her fish. And I thought, I don't.
Don't you? Yeah. Maybe
I mean,
that's why she's smiling now, because she's getting
yeah.
fish. Simple creatures.
My husband eats fish and I'm vegetarian, he eats fish. So I do cook fish and they've just started cooking more. So the dogs have fish with it.
Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. That's wonderful. Well, you know, your two dogs have just been so blessed to find you. You know, it was meant to be, of course,
Yeah.
but it is just so lovely that they've got their chance now to shine.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so, you know, I know they're so grateful to you for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Yeah, it was very powerful. And that's why I really wanted to have this conversation with you, because I feel it's so important for others to be aware that they can get this kind of support for their pets, because it's amazing how
Mm.
many people who are awakened and on their spiritual path have cats and dogs. There's not
Yeah.
many of us.
Well, there's a reason for that, isn't there? They've come
Yeah.
along to help them or teach them things, you know.
Yeah.
In our busy world, it's just easy to just quickly feed the cat and then get on with your day, but just to spend just a couple of minutes, just even just watching them, it's,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And that goes back to exactly where I was coming from when I was kind of introducing our conversation, is that Spirit are saying to us, stop, enjoy life, take that
Mm,
breather, lean into your passions, lean into things that bring you joy. We've all been so hyper focused on healing, working
yeah,
through our shadows and becoming the, most authentic version of ourselves, that sometimes if we're not careful on this path, we can kind of forget about having fun. And,
yeah,
and what is more fulfilling than spending time with your beloved animal companions? There is nothing, for me personally,
mm, yeah,
I,
yeah, me
I,
too.
I'm at my happiest when I'm with my grandchildren, my children, and our loving pets, because we've all got
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah, yeah.
And they're all big dogs, so it's a bit crazy.
Oh, is it all big dog family? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So, Shelley, I think it's really important that you share with the listeners a little bit more about. So, you do the animal readings, we've spoken about that. You do the healing as well,
Mm.
and you also do the training as well.
Yeah.
So, just tell people how they can connect with you. How can they reach out to you, and how can they connect with you?
Well, on Facebook or Instagram, probably. I think we've had this conversation before, or I have it with lots of people. Is I don't share about my animal communication work on there because I feel like that I'm using the animal in a way. Like I don't feel comfortable with sharing
I
their details in
understand that
that.
completely. Yeah.
But like for my training clients and stuff, they're very happy for me to, you know, share that information. So you'll see things like that on my page where I do like pet sitting and things like that locally. But yeah, the Pawfect Connection on Instagram or Facebook. I do have a website as well, which is pawfectconnection.co.uk. Yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it? Really, my email. I think I gave you that, so you've got the info on that. But yeah, I'm always happy to go. I mean, I know we're not local to each other. I'm based in Southampton, but I work with people worldwide. I've got people in Florida that I connect with their pets and things as well. So distance isn't an issue. Yeah, if anybody wants to reach out and just ask any questions, I'm always happy to help because the more we can share this information, the more animals get helped, really. So that's my mission in life.
It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Shelley, I love what you do. I really love what you do. You've got beautiful energy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that there is massive scope for this kind of work
Yeah.
with animals across the board, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily, it has to be dog or cat. As I said, guinea pigs and hamster I've connected with before. my family, my husband and my daughter are quite science based. You know, they think when I said I was going to go and chat to a hamster, couldn't contain themselves laughing. But you know, they're coming around to it now, because these things that I get confirmations from, they think you can't be making this up. There's got to be something. So gradually, I'm getting them, I'm getting them to sort of awaken a little bit.
And
But
that's
yeah,
our loved ones, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
our
yeah,
living example, isn't it? You know, the life we lead, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
beautiful. Ripple
And
in the
birds as well. Birds are very keen to chat, which is amazing. So yeah,
That's
yeah,
beautiful. I love that. I absolutely
yeah.
love that. So thank you, Shelley. Is there anything
You're
else you
very
want
welcome.
at all before?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me in
You're
this
welcome.
day.
Thank you
It's
for having me. A
such a pleasure
pleasure.
to have this wonderful chat. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And I just wish you the very best of luck with what you do. Keep
Thank
shining
you.
light. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been lovely to chat.
Thank you. And
Thank
everyone, if you listened to us today and joined in our conversation energetically, thank you. We have absolutely loved it, and we hope you have too. And may you walk through your week really feeling that love and compassion from spirit, from the divine, with more clarity. And remember your pets. Give them
you.
a little bit of extra love too. Much love and blessings.